Good morning. All right, to start us off, we're talking about question one, which is what I think the biggest growth for me has been through this course. And as I was looking through where I began and where I am now, I think that the biggest thing that I grew on was narrowing the focus of the overall project. I had the idea of, for probably the last 20 years, I have loved the idea of a digital curriculum. And when I was looking at this project and thinking about my eventual dissertation, I've been thinking about how I can incorporate that. But the problem was that I realize now is that a digital curriculum has many components, and I was kind of hoping just to look at all of them at once. I was so excited, but it's highly unrealistic for a study to concentrate on so many different things at once. So this project helped me narrow down the focus from vast digital curriculum ideas to what do components that I thought were most important, which ended up being for my project a feedback system that could help students in real time versus afterwards, getting the feedback after the learning window had closed. So that's probably the biggest overall takeaway that I have from this. The question two, what were my key takeaways from my group members? I think the biggest thing that I learned, again, and it's kind of funny because it goes back to the first question as well, was be specific. When I was looking through the feedback of my peers, one of the peers just gave a couple paragraphs at the end. I think he and I are probably similar on level on and where we're at in the program and such. But the second peer, he gave a lot of feedback, which was great. But as I started categorizing the feedback, what I noticed was that most of it had to do with be specific. He said, "I don't understand how this. Maybe you should define this." And so I think the biggest thing that I'm taking away from that is that I need to go through and really focus on things that people could have questions about. Have I fully explained this aspect? And I think in some ways a project like this helps because I don't know what questions people are going to have. I only have my own brain. And so I knew what I meant when I wrote something, but having people ask questions about it gives me a better idea that I need to go through and really think about what questions other people could have. And that seems silly, I know, but that's where we're at. Okay, so I think that's the biggest thing is I just need to make sure that I'm going through and being specific. So moving on to question three, how was the overall experience with the course? I think the course was great. I did learn a lot. I also don't think that the course was for me just yet, and that's not a fault of the course. It's maybe a fault with expectations. So I took this course mainly because I'm not great at writing. That's a weakness of mine. It's always been a weakness of mine, and so I took this course to get better at academic writing. And the fine line in this is that this course is kind of geared towards format, and making sure that each piece has certain components, and nothing wrong with that at all. It's just not kind of where I'm at in my journey. I'm still a little bit early on for that to have been as useful as I'm sure it would have been later. So in that way, it was slightly disappointing. I don't think that it was a fault with the course at all. I think it was a fault with um, either the description of the course or me not reading the course description well enough before I signed up for the course. So I don't think that was any problem with the course layout or anything. If I was further along um, with my coursework, getting towards the end of the program, or I was just a better writer, then I think that I would have gotten more out of this. Sadly for me, I'm leaving the course a little sad because I just want to be able to write better. Now, having said that, I think that, and part of the problem is that I don't even know exactly what that means for me. I think that I was hoping that in a course like this that I would get some guidance on the aspects that I needed to work on. But having taken the course now, I can say that I definitely gained some things, obviously. Formatting being a big one. As you've seen, my writing needed a decent amount of work in learning how to properly format, and even your last information about my citations, my references page. That's going to be great and helpful, and I will be able to take that with me into the future, and maybe not being bogged down by being dinged so many times for my references and formatting will allow me to focus more on the other aspects of writing. But again, I'm having difficulty knowing exactly where I need to focus. I just know that my writing's not as good as some of my peers, so I'll have to figure that out. Maybe more time in the writing center would do me some good. But anyway, thank you very much for the course. I did enjoy it, and as we know, my focus from this project was greatly narrowed, and that'll be superb moving forward over the next couple of years as I continue research. I'll be able to narrow the focus of that a lot more, and that will be extremely useful to when I finally get to my proposal. So thank you so much, and I hope that you have a wonderful year upcoming.